Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing a tour, mid-July tour part 2, and this is part of the Reflecting Garden. I have been working on, well I haven't, but I've been planning on making this dollhouse into a chicken coop. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm not there yet. I probably will do it in the spring of next year, so we'll see. I have to cut some, my grass is kind of overgrown at the moment. But I have a beautiful buddleia. Of course, the flowers are just now drying up, but it was in quite cute bloom last week. I have a beautiful crepe myrtle, but this is a very interesting crepe myrtle. It has not flowered one bit in the past, what, 3 or 4 years that it's there. So I don't know what's going on there, but it is what it is. I've noticed that my rose bush that's sitting here has become quite, I guess bald. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't know the term, but she's starting to put some new leaves here, as you can see here. So I'm not sure what's going on, but all this was full and now they're gone. So I don't know if something's getting at her. I don't know. Right here is this little area that I've created, and I've got some daylilies. They're still popping up. I've got a cluster here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's a little bit dried up. I don't know what's going on there, so we'll see what happens. I brought this from Temu a couple of weeks ago, no, last week, and it's tilted, but it's because of the squirrels have come to enjoy the food there. So this little chopped, I guess would half wood logs, I brought them from Home Depot. I thought it would be nice to put an edge design here, and I've kept some of the rocks in between so it ties in with the rocks that are going on inside the Reflecting Garden. I think it's kind of cool. Okay. This must be the squirrel. The squirrel was in here acting like a fool and not happy about that. So I will have to kind of prop that up a little bit. But these are my salvias, and they're looking beautiful until now, until this morning. The interestingly annoying squirrels are trying to get the seeds. So here's another daylily. Okay, let me back up a little bit. As you can see in this area here, which I've talked about a couple of times in a couple of videos, is going to be the chicken run that will go to the chicken house. I have a water fountain there, or a bird bath really, so the birds can take a bath and drink water. This is new as well. I put these 2 logs that I've had saved up for, I guess, for time like this. I've got a creeping, I've got a clematis climbing up against the post, so it'll make its way up. So that's fairly new. This tiki torch I placed there for my daughter's birthday party last week, so I'll take that down. But what I wanted to talk about really quickly is this little grass area. I am going to be pulling that out and extending the rocks coming up into this point right here, so it's nice and clean. I probably will pull this point up a little bit more so it's a little bit more even and more longer, and I'll put the pea gravel in there because it's becoming a little bit more complicated for me to go in with the lawnmower to cut that, so I don't want to be doing that anymore. And so that's what's going to be happening there. And as you can see, I've been little by little buying these wood bordering, so I'm going to keep going around and around and around and going that direction. But let me go around inside the Reflecting Garden, show you from this angle. I think it's coming along quite nicely. This is from this angle. So right now we got irises here. I pulled them from the back put them to the front here, but they're not doing what I'm hoping that they would have done, which is flower. They did, 1 or 2 of them. I see last night it rained, but I think I might need to come and give my oak leaf hydrangea a little bit of water. And Rose of Sharon still hanging in here. I named it after my friend Nadia. She was putting some flowers, and I'm really happy about how beautiful she was displaying that. So keep on working on that. Yeah, well, I guess I'm looking in this direction. So these are my beautiful lantanas. The butterflies, the bees, all the fun pollinators are having a blast. And there's a sleepy little bee right there. He's a little tired. You can see this guy here. He's just doing his little thing right there. Okay, so this is what's going on here. They're just in full bloom. I don't cut the branches. I let them grow, let them do their own thing, but as you can see, they're coming a little bit more forward, so I'm okay with that. I've left them because one year I cut them back and they never came back from that cut. I think I may have, I cut it a third down, a third up from the ground, and that particular lantana did not come back. So I left it alone ever since that. And then, I mean, this is the display, the gift she keeps on giving me every year. This little cluster here, just in case you're wondering, is just a dogwood branch, this is all a dogwood tree here. So it's just, I gotta maybe lift her up. Sometimes just nature does their own things, but I'm not fussy about that at all. This tree, the apple tree, named after my son Matthew, is like letting go all of her leaves, which is interesting. So I gotta go with the leaf blower and just blow that up. Let me go back a little bit and show you. Oh, I stepped on something here. I got a buddleia. This one is the goodness grief, I thought it's a dwarf buddleia, but I can't remember the top of my head, but I'll put it on the video here. So she's doing really cute, really all purple, more of a purple than the Puckster Pinker, which is right next to it. And now that's a little bit more of a pinky purple. So I'm kind of loving how I not purposely realized that this whole area in this bed is like pink, purple, and fuchsia, and a little bit of white, which is fine. I wasn't intending to do that. It just worked out that way. Here is an echinacea or coneflower. I think this one is a I can't remember, passion pink. I can't remember. I'll put it on the video here. This is from Proven Winners. We've got a salvia here. So she's kind of making her way through. I transplanted it there probably a good month ago, so I was hoping that she would have just really, she is taking off because she was just smaller. Here is the common globe amaranth, and I just love this. This was given to me by my neighbor, and I planted her here. There's a couple of clusters. There's one there. There's another one here. And this one's got, oh, there's a bee right there. But this one's got mix of the fuchsia and the white, which I love. So I'm very excited about that. And they're supposed to spread, hopefully for the winter. I mean, you know, they'll spread and they'll come back for the, you know, for the next year. So I'm hoping that will keep going and doing that for me. Another Puckster Pinker. There's some verbena here. I'll tell you a really interesting story. I saw this on the side of the road, and I decided to just pluck it. I plucked a couple of them, and this is what's come through, and they were very tiny, and I'm just hoping that they'll spread and that they'll keep coming back every year. I'm trying to think of plants that are a little bit resilient, drought resistant, and will come back. And sometimes finding things on the side of the road, on fields, might be a good thing for me, because then I know that they will do really well. Of course, I'm very mindful and very careful that it's not somebody's property. So I've been just plucking one or two little things here or there. And here is a butterfly weed, and it's when I purchased it, it said butterfly. Oops! A bee just hit me, or a bug just hit me in the face. Butterfly milkweed. So that's what that is, and just planted that literally, I would say about a couple days ago, maybe 2-3 days ago. So I'm really excited about that. I have some delphiniums here, and they are doing really rough, really poorly here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're done for the season. I thought they would be hanging out for a little bit longer, but. And then we've got some lavender here and a blonde lavender right over here. And I wanted to tell you about this little trellis. I had some Christmas tree type of things in my house for years, and they've always been used for Christmas lights and stuff like that, but they kept shedding their fake leaves, so I ended up stripping it down, and now I have it in the garden as a ornamental thing there. Right here was a pathway to go into the garden here. I am deciding to rip this all up. I'm going to bring my climbing rose, the Crown Princess Margaret rose that I'm not happy where she's at, because she's not growing. And I'm wondering if she needs to be a little bit in a different spot. So I'm thinking that she would look really great here. So I'm just preparing ripping up this grass, and going to put some soil conditioning, and try to make this a little bit more richer, and hopefully she'll do really great there. So and I'll keep you posted on that, but I can't do it yet. I won't bring the rose here until the fall. I'm just preparing the ground here for that. I've got a Tiny Tough Stuff hydrangea. They're still not blooming. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it needs to establish itself until for next year. Hopefully she'll do good, so we'll see. Cat's Meow Nepeta. My first time working with this type of flower. I don't know if the soil is good for her. I'm not sure what she's supposed to look like. I've seen other people's videos of them, and they're just like big and lush. And so I don't know what's going on. So we'll see. This is Heartworm. This thing was so small. It was like maybe the size of my fist, and she loves it here. It is just absolutely beautiful. It's got these beautiful little flowers here. I'm going to show you. Little tiny flowers right there. Isn't that pretty? Oh, look at the little Nepeta. Nepeta is so pretty. I never had it in my garden. This is my first year having it, so I thought, let me try it. And over here is sedum and a firecracker crepe myrtle. She's starting to open up, and I think by next week she'll be really popping. I didn't clean at the bottom. Usually you can clean the bottom of these, pruning them and having just the bark and then the canopy of it up on the top. But I was a little bit concerned because I did get these for free, and I didn't want to do anything to it this year, but I will do it for next year. I did, funny enough, I had it cleaned, and then it just started sprouting, and I just said, oh, leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone, and now it's just all this. And I'm okay with it. Here is a Tiny Tough Stuff hydrangea, another sedum, little ornamental garden thing to break up your eye with something of interest. Here is Midnight Masquerade penstemon. I need to find out if I need to prune this. I never had it. This is my first full year in the garden with it, so I'll figure that out. A Soft Touch holly, garden phlox, marigolds, There's a Vinca Impatient, still a little tiny one I pulled from the ground from the front area. And here's another tiny tough, not tiny tough, sorry, a soft touch holly. And then this is the beautiful arch entryway into the garden. It's just filled up so beautifully. As you can see, it's got a rose here. We got a couple of roses that's been actually eaten up by Japanese beetles, which I'm really, really upset about. But it's one of those things, but I'm learning how to navigate that. You can see this branch here. I had it weaving in the trellis, the archway. So we got a smiley yellow rose and a clematis in this arch together, working together. So I'm really happy about that. And really quickly, a really sweet friend of mine, just more like a sister to me, gave this to me for a gift. I just got it the other day. I met up with her. It was supposed to be a Christmas gift, and she knows I love the crows. I'm not sure if I told everybody the story about the crows, but it's the entryway into the garden, so the crows are there, and it has the Andino name on there. So I'm kind of excited about that. Okay, let's go into the garden through here. And as you see, this is the apple tree, and that's Matt. And I got some creeping jennies in here. I planted those earlier this spring, and the goal is to just fill that whole area up with that. I'm going to be getting some tulips in the fall to fill in certain areas throughout this entire circular I guess bed, really. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Okay, let me go back over here really quickly. Everything is pretty much mirrored. We've got soft touch holly, a phlox, and soft touch holly, and we also have the Midnight Masquerade here, and a garden ornament that's in there. And here is the Tiny Tough Stuff hydrangea. We have some daylilies that are supposed to be yellow, and I wanted to show you, whoa, interesting. This is the other free crepe myrtle, the firecracker crepe myrtle, and look, it's got a pink cluster. Interesting, right next to it with the red. Look how pretty that is. Again, I had this all cleaned up, and then it just kept sprouting, and that's one of those interesting things about like crepe myrtles. They just do their own thing, and you can clean the bark up and just have the canopy up on the top here. But I thought since I started seeing it with the little beads or the bulbs, sorry, I said beads, the bulbs in it, I said, well, leave it alone. It might work really nicely for it, so left it alone. So that's working really nicely. Okay, another Tiny Tough Stuff over here. We've got the coral drifts, coral drift rose bushes that are here. Got them all around, wrapped around here. We've got a Fire Chief Ibervite, and that is going to be really a stunner in the fall. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. This is also another great one, Abelia. This is a kaleidoscope Abelia, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that does in the fall. It's supposed to have interest, so I was trying to be strategic in putting things that'll look beautiful color-wise, texture-wise throughout the entire 4 seasons. So I think that's going to look good. This is all the same coral drift rose bushes, soft touch holly. This is the entryway. This is the first full year that I've been working in the garden, and of course I did a little pathway, but I also put a little paver here. It's very difficult for me to come in here with a weed whacker or the lawnmower, so what I'm going to end up doing is just cutting all of that grass out, putting pea gravel in this area, and hopefully it'll make a pretty impactful, much more helpful for me to not have to deal with the grass there. Another soft touch holly, kaleidoscope Abelia, and this one is a blue star juniper. I call her J-Lo, because that day when I was planting her, I was listening to music and J-Lo popped up, and I thought it was quite funny, but it looks really beautiful there. I'm hoping to kind of you know, like prune it and make sure you're making it, training it to be like a bonsai type of tree. So we'll see how that works. I'm not sure, but we'll work it through. Over here are my rocks. I've got a blue hydrangea here. You can see a Rose of Sharon. Even my finger from there. Rose of Sharon's right there. This is all just backwoods back here. And I've got a beautiful, my goodness, lemongrass. And we've got some azaleas here floating around all the way across. We've got a beautiful cherry tree, snow goose cherry tree right here. We've got some rocks here, and lemongrass, azalea bush here, lemongrass, beautiful rocks to help break things up. I've got a beautiful gardenia and loropetalum right there. And I was telling you about the Christmas tree thing, and here's another one. I had two of them, so here I put the other one in. There's supposed to be clematis climbing up on there, but it's taking a little bit longer than I thought. Azaleas, azaleas, azaleas. Clematis is right around Alberto, who is our little frog Zen patron to help us welcome into the space and be mindful of our thought processes. Azalea bush, loropetalum right there, wrapped up in all of the clematis. I mean, they're all wrapped up. The clematis just takes over, but I don't mind it because they've already placed their flowers in terms of the gardenia and the loropetalum, but the clematis will put their white flowers. Last year it was in big, I mean, I've never seen it in full display like that. So we'll see what it does this year. This is my Leland Cypress Christmas tree, all the way up there. She's so beautiful. I love her. Oh, let me go back over here for a quick second. This is a ruby red hydrangea. I think I've made a video of that, or it's been dedicated to my dad. So I have a plaque there for him. And here's another circular space. Right now there's nothing in here, just a Russian sage for now. I'm leaving that open because I'm going to do something here. Here is another circular, and this is a white pinkster. No, a white pugster. I think it's called a pugster white, sorry. Buddleia. It's a dwarf, and it has a plaque for my father-in-law. And so we've got my father-in-law and my father over there, and yeah, we're kind of excited about how that's coming along. And before I let you all go, this is a beautiful Japanese bloodgood maple tree, and she's looking really, or he's looking really good. This is Guapo, and I've got some creeping Jenny, so I'm hoping that that will fill up over time. Just cover that base. I don't know how it will do. I just thought it would be very pretty. I'll have to figure that out. And I've got some Vinca impatiens in there as well. Okay, I think that is about it. I still have yet to, I think I found what I'm going to do with these porcelain planters. I'm thinking I'm going to either put a dragon print bush, or I'm going to put a rose, one of those low growing ground cover, I think they're called sweet drift roses, but I found a yellow one the other day, but it only had one, and I didn't want to put just one. I wanted to get two, so I'll probably end up doing that for here. And you guys already saw the creeping jennies here. I wanted to show you guys really quickly, I planted some hostas here. These are what is it called? I think it was called Patriot hostas. So I'm just working those in here. I got lemongrass, and I've got some mint here. Oh, it smells so nice. I got that from a friend. And I've got some basil. I got a couple of basils. I also have some dill, because I heard that the butterflies, since they like to fly around here, that they like dill. and I found an asparagus in my garden. I don't know where or how. I didn't plant that there, but there it was. Yep. So this is what's happening in the reflecting garden so far for the summer. I mean, we're halfway through, and so we'll see what happens in the fall. So I'll probably take another video in the fall, see what the plants are doing. This is what's going on, guys. I think it's coming along pretty nicely. I see my friends, the deer. Let's see if I can walk across over there. So I can, they're usually, when they come up this close, they're waiting for me to give them an apple. Let's see. Hey guys. Hi. I think I have an apple for you. I'll bring it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for visiting my garden with me today. This is the garden tour part 2. The other one I posted a video of. I'll put a link there so you can see what's going on all the way back over here. What's happening over there in the back way, or closer to the house, should I say, not the back way. This is the back way back here. But everything is coming out really nicely. I'm enjoying the whole season. There are 1 or 2 things that I'm learning, that plants, paying attention to the plants that are doing really well in certain areas and others that are not doing so well. And just, you know, just got to move things around and learn how they talk to me and say, hey, I'm not happy here. Like, can you move me? Or they just like, hey, I'm really dying here. I'm dead, you know? So it's one of those things you have to learn. And you're not a true gardener until you kill your plants. I don't want them to die though. All right, guys. Catch you on the next one. Bye, my friends.